isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat. So at this time, we are going to discuss about literacy. What is literacy? Literacy defined as the ability to read and write. Alam na nating lahat na kapag sinabing literacy or natututo ang mga bata sa pamamagitan ng pagbabasa at pagsusulat. And it is a process by which one expands one's knowledge of reading and writing in order to develop one's thinking and learning for the purpose of understanding oneself and the world. So naroon ang read, write, syempre think. Yun po yung ating pag-aaralan. Now, when we say also literacy, it is the capacity to communicate using inscribed, printed, or electronic signs or symbols for representing language. Kung meron tayong tinatawag na literacy, meron din tayong tinatawag na skill. And it is the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning, enabling individuals to achieve their goals, to develop their knowledge and potential, and to participate fully in their community and wider society. So that's according to UNESCO 2014 and 2017. The ability to read, write, design, speak, and listen in a way that allows you to communicate effectively. The power of literacy lies not just in the ability to read and write, but rather in a person's capacity to apply these skills to effectively connect, interpret, and discern the intricacies of the world in which they live. Kaya nga mayroon tayong tinatawag na cognitive. So ito yung schema, perception, attention, memory, pattern recognition. Meron din tayong language literacy. Dito pumapasok yung sinatawag nating orthography. Ayan. So, marami pang iba. Also psychological. So, attitudes, trust, basta't may kaugnayan sa pag-uugali o sa isang tao. And then last is environment. Yan. So dito pumapasok yung mga ginagamit nating materials sa kagaya ng books at mga bagay na ginagamit po natin. Okay, so tingnan po natin ang pagkakaiba ng traditional literacy sa new literacies. The meaning of literacy has evolved through time. From being known as the ability to read and write, literacy as inclusive of other skills needed for one to cope in this fast-paced world. Traditional literacy is defined as the quality of being literate, knowledge of letters, condition in respect to education, especially ability to read and write. It is the building block for all other literacies. Without it, they would be impossible to master. Traditional literacy is about print on a page or decoding and making sense of words, images, and other content that the reader can string together and then begin to comprehend. They are the words and pictures students read and pore over that are contained in textbooks, in novels, in standardized tests, and in comic books. The new literacies encompass much more. Their utility lies in online reading comprehension and learning skills, or 21st century skills required by the internet and other information and communication technologies, including content found on blogs, video sites, audio sites, and in email. They require the ability not just to read, but also to navigate the World Wide Web, locate information, evaluate it critically, synthesize it, and communicate it, all skills that are becoming vital to success in these centuries economy. New literacies that arise from new technologies include things like text messaging, blogging, social networking, and video making. These digital technologies alter and extend our communication abilities, often blending text and sound. Although connected to older offline practices, these technologies change what it means to both read and write text. Technology has everything to do with literacy. Being able to use the latest electronic technologies has everything to do with being literate. That's according to Wilhelm 2000. Literacy, therefore, may be thought of as a moving target, continually changing its meaning depending on what society expects literate individuals to do. There are different literacies with today's new literacy. So we have traditional literacy. So when we say traditional literacy, this is all about reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Another literacy is information. That is information literacy. The ability to identify what information is needed and the ability to locate, evaluate, and use information. We also have the visual literacy. This is the ability to understand and produce visual messages. Next is critical literacy. This is the ability to question, challenge, and evaluate the meanings and purposes of text. Media literacy. This is the ability to question, analyze, interpret, evaluate, and create media messages. Next is tool literacy. This is the ability to use tools to manage, consume, and create information. So we also have what we call the digital literacy. This is the ability to use digital technology, communication tools, or networks to locate, evaluate, use, and create information. Effective learning is a function of effective teaching. Students learn better if they are properly motivated to do so. What effective teaching strategies can the teachers use to further improve the teaching learning process? Here are some of them. We have what we call the experiential learning. Teachers provide opportunities for real-world experiences. Students may expand upon their prior knowledge and apply what they already know. Examples include field trips, role-playing, simulations, drama, and laboratory experiments. Students who engage in real-world experiences will attain and assimilate information effectively because the activities are meaningful in their day-to-day life experiences. So, in a cycle, we have experience. So, in a certain student, sa mga bata na nag-aaral, yung karanasan nila, participants engage in learning activity. And then share. Participants review what occurred during the activity. And then after that, process. Review how the activity was performed. Next is generalize, then apply, and then back to experience. So it is a cycle. Next is direct instruction. When we say direct instruction, this is highly structured, teacher-centered information delivery method. Many teachers routinely follow this strategy. It includes objectives, a materials list, warm-up, presentation, guided practice, independent practice, closure, appraisal, and evaluation. This strategy provides the teacher with a framework for imparting information. And the next is social learning. Teacher-guided cooperative learning that facilitates student interaction. This strategy is based on the belief that information will be learned and remembered if there are social interactions about the information. This strategy strengthens students' ability to retain information through interaction involved with cooperative learning within socially appropriate norms. So, napakahalaga po ng social learning sapagkat kapag ang mga mag-aaral ay nakikihalo o nakikimingle sa kanilang kapwa mag-aaral, mas lalo silang nag-enjoy at mas lalo silang natututo. And then another one is problem-based learning. This strategy promotes critical thinking by presenting students with interesting and posing problems to solve. The problem-solving process involves observing, developing, and testing predictions, collecting and organizing data, and formulating concepts and explanations. So, there are 8 essential elements of PBL or yung tinatawag natin problem-based learning. So, there is that what we call curriculum content, 21st century skills, need to know, driving question, student voice and choice, in-depth inquiry, reflection and revision, and audience presented product. So, another instruction is what we call the constructivist instruction. Yan. So, itong constructivist po, ito yung mahalaga din sapagkat the teachers encourages the students to construct hypotheses, make decisions, and discover principles by themselves. Kaya nga pag sinabi natin constructivism, what it is, based on background knowledge, connect to new knowledge. Student-centered, students learn how to learn, and what it isn't. Teacher-centered, skill in isolation. So, characteristics po nito ay collaboration. So, nakikipag-collab ang mga mag-aaral sa mga iba pang mag-aaral, kaya sila lalong natututo. At tandaan natin, start with a problem your kids find relevant. Use interdisciplinary exploration, develop hot tasks, and use primary sources. Next is multiple intelligence. Under this strategy, the teacher helps students learn effectively by utilizing the learning strengths and intelligences of each student. Yan. Kaya nga yung multiple intelligence, meron niyang iba't ibang bagay na nasa sa kanya, kagaya ng logical, visual, musical, intrapersonal, kinesthetic, interpersonal, naturalistic, and linguistic. So, what are you going to do in order to motivate your learners to learn? Students become more motivated to learn if the teaching learning activities are enjoyable and pleasant. Huwag kakalimutan. Kaya nga dapat laging mayroong pagganyak or motivation because this is the avenue. Motivation is the avenue for the learners to join kasi nag-e-enjoy nga sila at nasisiyahan sila sa kanilang mga pag-aaral. Yan. So, tandaan po that level of effort is equal to level of outcome. Yung level mo sa iyong mga mag-aaral, yung effort mo, equal din yan sa level of outcome. Kung mas matindi yung effort mo, mas magatindi rin yung level of outcome mo sa iyong mga bata. Okay? How to motivate students to struggle. Number 1, help students identify their gifts. Hayaan mo malaman nila, ipaalam mo sa kanila. At kumbaga sa pagtatanim ng halaman, di ba kinocultivate natin yung mga kapaligiran, yung lupa. Ganon din sa bata. Let the learners identify their gifts. Second is use their strengths to support their weaknesses. Make specific encouraging comments. Guide students in ways that develop their strengths and help them see academics or as a strategy. So ngayon po ay natutunan natin kung paano tayo magbibigay ng mas matindi pang kaalaman sa ating mga mag-aaral. And how are we going to do in order to motivate students who struggle? Tatandaan po natin yan mga kaibigan na kung saan Itong mga bagay na to ay napakahalaga. Another good approach to teaching is by providing students with choices. Remember when you were a student yourself, nung ikay nag-aaral pa, paano ka ba natuturuan? Ano ba yung mga natutunan mo? At paano yung sistemang naranasan mo? Did you like it when your teacher gave you a choice on what to do? The principle remains the same. Students may easily lose interest if they are not provided with choices in terms of topics and learning activities. Kaya, tandaan po na ang mga bata natin, kung mas gusto pa natin na mas matuto, how well they need to learn and why, what to learn and how to learn, it depends on the one who is teaching them. Kaya napakahalaga po ng guro because the instructional leader sa isang classroom ay ang mga teacher. So yun lamang po at sa pagkakataong ito, nais kong sabihin sa lahat ng nakikinig na ang Diyos po natin, ang siyang great teacher natin na nagbibigay ng matinding kaalaman upang tayo po rin ay magamit at tayo magkaroon ng kalakasan. Always remember, God is still in control. God bless everyone.